Hello everyone. Today we're finally getting confirmation for some news that I think most of us have been waiting for, and that is balance changes and new content coming to Diablo 2 Resurrected. Patch 2.4 has some big updates coming with it, and these include ladder rank play, class balance changes, and mercenary changes and new rune words. So let's jump right into this post that highlights some of the changes they plan to make. First on the list is ladder rank play. Like Diablo 2 Classic, D2R will feature 4 different ladder modes, including Standard Ladder, Hardcore Ladder, Standard Expansion Ladder, and Hardcore Expansion Ladder. For the first time, players will have the chance to unlock a host of new rune words in the ladder system. To be clear, these rune words have never existed in the game before, and they will not be accessible in non-ladder play like the previous set of ladder-only rune words in the original Diablo 2 experience. This is something that was leaked quite a while ago, and people have been speculating on it ever since. I believe there was some sort of interview on a Japanese game website where they said something along the lines of this, and then later they said it was just a mix-up because of the language barrier. But now here we are getting confirmation that there will be completely new rune words in the ladder seasons. They go on to say at the end of a ladder season, players who successfully made these rune words will have their ladder characters be moved into a non-ladder version of the game. Then at the beginning of the next ladder season, players will make a new ladder character and start all over again to earn new rewards. They say they don't have any specific rune words to share with us now, but there's going to be a developer update stream later on with Mr. Llama SC where maybe they'll share some there. And lastly, they said that they've been monitoring discussions around ladder rank play in the community. I know for myself, I made a video months ago that talked about some of the changes coming to D2R, and one of the things was 3-month ladder seasons. And I got quite a few comments of people complaining about how that was too short. So here it looks like they're still trying to look at and gauge how long a season should be. I personally see nothing wrong with the 3-month ladder season. People that have work and other real life obligations, I just don't think the ladders are for you. Ladders are for people that want to push to 99, and most of those people that are really good at it can get to 99 in a pretty short period of time. They definitely don't need 5 or 6 months to do that. Next, we have what we all came here for, and that is class balance changes. They say after so many requests from the community, we're thrilled to share new balance changes are coming to your favorite heroes in D2R. As fans ourselves, we're just as eager as you to find new ways to play. They are reviewing underused skills, assessing casting delays, making tooltip quality of life changes, and more to fulfill these goals. They want to empower you to be creative with the builds you want to play, but they don't want to reinvent the wheel and steer classes from their core purposes. Without diving into the specifics, let's take a peek at the philosophies behind various class changes. First up, we have the Amazon. The Amazon's agility and versatility are profound. Generally, we like the current state of the Amazon class and believe her to be quite balanced. Nonetheless, we see an opportunity to improve the Amazon's melee skills. We want to buff the strengths of certain underused melee skills such as Impale and Fend to give more reasons to use them. We are also looking into freeing up synergy requirements for melee skills to give more skill point freedom for other possibilities. Additionally, we are considering buffing certain skills in the bow and crossbow tree to help improve bow gameplay in higher difficulties. I like the sound of all this, but I am a little concerned that the bow and crossbow play stuff was mentioned as kind of an afterthought at the end there. The bow and crossbow skills definitely need some love, although I do think there are some bigger problems that aren't just specific to the skills themselves, but more of just game designs that make these skills bad, along with a lot of the other skills in the game. We will touch on that at the end of this discussion. Next, we have the Assassin. The Assassin vanquishes evil from the darkness with great ease. However, for this class, we see an opportunity for the martial arts builds to shine brighter. Martial arts skills can be increasingly challenging to perform in higher difficulties, so we are reevaluating how to improve generating and spending combo points. Furthermore, various trap skills are not often used, so we're reevaluating synergy requirements to promote more trap builds and damage scaling buffs. Once again, this all sounds good, but I still think there's an overarching problem that really could fix a lot of these issues here, and I really don't think it's a numbers game and a combo point problem. Next, we have the Barbarian. The brawn of the Barbarian is unmatched. Nonetheless, we see opportunities to add more diversity to combat skills. We're looking into adding more possibilities with combat skills such as Leap Attack and Grim Ward, while also reevaluating skill synergy requirements to promote more reasons to spend points on certain combat skills. Additionally, we think throwing Barbarians could be more viable, so we are looking into enhancing the double throw and throwing mastery skills. I personally believe that the Barbarian needs more than just some tweaks to make them a good class. One major thing that the Barbarian and a lot of other melee classes are missing is melee splash. One of the biggest things that holds the Barbarian back is just the fact that they have to kill an enemy one at a time. That being said, I am interested to see what they're going to do with combat skills to make them better. On to the Druid. The bestial ferocity of the Druid makes all tremble. With that said, we see exciting opportunities to level up certain aspects of this class. From our perspective, Druid fire skills are underperforming. We're reevaluating casting delays for fire skills, exploring improvements to some of their physical damage components, and improving synergies. We're also looking at potential tweaks affecting other elemental skills that are underused. We want to improve the controls for Arctic Blast too, such as allowing more free form while channeling and no longer locking your targeting onto one enemy at a time. Once again, this is all great, but there's still a bigger problem at play here that could fix a lot of these issues. Regarding summon skills, we believe summons are weak in high difficulty. On this front, we're reevaluating health gains per level, quality of life improvements, damage output, and new synergies for ravens, wolves, and vines. Lastly, we're evaluating improvements to the werebear skills, primarily focused on synergy improvements. Well, I don't think anyone's going to complain about summon buffs for the Druid, but I do think they need to be a little careful here because they could overbuff them and make them too strong. Not that I would really complain about that. Next up, we have the chaddest of all chads, the Necromancer. The Commander of Death sends his foes to an early grave. Like the Amazon, we like the current state of the Necromancer class. Nonetheless, we see an opportunity to improve specific summons we believe are underused. We're balancing elemental damages of skeletal mages and making lesser used golems more effective. Additionally, we see opportunities for bone skill improvements in high difficulty. We're tweaking synergies on this front. Okay, I was a little worried there that they weren't going to say anything about the bone skills. The Bone Necromancer is very versatile, it can do a lot of content, but the damage for the bone skills falls off really hard, especially when you start to get into multiplayer games. Just for comparison, I had a Bone Necromancer that had close to 40 skill points in Bone Spear, and it was only doing close to like 3.8k damage. And when you compare that to a Paladin's hammers that do something like 8k damage with half the point investment, there's quite a bit of difference there. Now, I definitely don't think that Necromancers need to be doing that much damage with their Bone Spears, because they do get access to things like curses and corpse explosion, but they definitely do need a buff. And speaking of the Golden Child himself, we have the Paladin next. The Wrath of the Holy Zealot is glorious. Despite this, we believe certain combat skills are underused. We're exploring ways to make lesser used skills, i.e. Fist of the Heavens, more utilized so players have more reasons to spend skill points to unlock these skills. We also see an opportunity to scale offensive aura skills as well. This includes making improvements to AoE damage auras to make them more effective at closer range. We also want to improve Thorns so that it can scale better and deal more reliable damage at higher levels. That all sounds like a lot of fun. And no mention of a nerf to hammers, which I think is great. I don't think they should really be nerfing anything. And lastly, we have the only class that anybody plays, and that is the Sorceress. There is no greater master of elemental magic than these mages. We're very satisfied with the Sorceress's current state, but we see a few opportunities for improvements. Regarding cold skills, we believe there can be more diversity with the armor skills, i.e. frozen armor, shiver armor, and chilling armor for distinctive advantages. We are also looking into adding more build possibilities around lesser used lightning skills by exploring more skill synergies. Lastly, we're also revisiting fire skills to improve underused ones like Hydra. Similar to Arctic Blast, we're exploring making player control improvements to the Inferno skill so that it is less clunky to use. And once again, this is back to the big problem that I've been saying throughout this whole video, and that is that elemental skills seem like they need all these buffs, when in reality, the problem isn't the skills themselves, it is enemy immunities. What I believe they need to do is remove immunities or give us more tools to deal with them. I think it would be much easier and more fun to get rid of immunities rather than to sit here and try to tweak every single skill in the game to work. Because honestly, even if you do try to tweak them, they most likely won't work anyway because of immunities. I don't know, maybe I'm alone on this one, but I think immunities are the biggest problem that class balance faces. And lastly, we have mercenary changes and new Runewords. Class balance changes aren't the only updates players want to see. We've seen a lot of feedback from the community around the subject of mercenaries, and we are making improvements to mercenaries in a variety of ways. Many players enjoy using the Desert Mercenary, and we want to give more reasons to use the other 3 mercenaries, so we are looking into improving their skills and stats to enhance their identity in fantasy. I think improving other mercenary skills and stats is a nice place to start, but unless they give you some sort of interesting aura, most people are still going to use the Act 2 mercenaries. They go on to say that new Horadric cube recipes, set item changes, and new rune words are on the horizon. New cube recipes being implemented will allow for upgrading the item quality of set items to give more item build possibilities. Set item changes will update underperforming set items to have more bonuses, giving players more incentive to pursue partial and full set items that can complement the skill changes alluded above. Lastly, new rune words will be added to complement the skill and mercenary changes coming in the update. I think this set change thing is a little exciting, but also kind of concerning. I'm starting to get some Diablo 3 vibes here. We'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. And lastly, new rune words will be added to complement the skill and mercenary changes coming in the update. And for anybody who's interested, there's going to be a developer update stream with Mr. Llama SC on Thursday, December 16th at 11 a.m. PST. They're going to be sharing things like some of the new rune words for the latter, and probably going over more of the changes that they discussed here in this post. So make sure to tune into that if you want to learn more. But yeah guys, thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below what you think about all these changes. I think this is all fantastic news, but as I said before, I really do wish they would address things like enemy immunities, and maybe introducing new items and stats for players like elemental penetration to help with these problems. But thanks for watching guys, and don't forget to subscribe for more gaming related content.